Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to my Facebook Live or YouTube or Instagram or wherever you're catching us. Myself and Mark. Today I have Mark with me who's
Hey.
an inspiring being and a beautiful human who I have had the pleasure of working with. We journeyed together one-on-one and also through the Unspoken. And I'm really, really excited because I'm catching up with Mark for the first time, I think in like 8 months. And we just had 5 minutes to catch up. And I'm really excited to actually hear what's been going on in his life. We've exchanged some messages and they were really inspiring. So I wanted to bring him on to share what he's been up to and the inspiration behind it all and all the stuff. So, Mark, if you want to intro yourself quickly so people know who you are.
Hey, Dasha. Yeah, hello everybody. I'm Mark. I'm in the UK. I'm in Manchester. Yeah, I did the Unspoken last year, I guess, some point, and it's been a bit of a crazy time. But yeah, super excited to catch up and yeah, sort of share what's been happening for me. Yeah, so thank you for the opportunity, Dasha.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to, yeah, maybe we can just start with what were your biggest takeaways from Unspoken?
Well, the obvious one, I guess, for me was self-love. Journeying into love. For me, it's like uh, that's the juiciest thing in existence, right? Love, and but my journey and my upbringing and everything, I learned a lot about love. I was brought up in like a oh, what's that sound? I
Sorry.
don't know. Yeah.
I'm trying to tag you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, and I think I just hadn't quite realized the importance of what it means to love myself, and the journey of the unspoken. There's so much healing, so much kind of inner work, which I knew I wanted to sort of delve into. But yeah, I think the biggest takeaway was just learning the importance of loving myself and sort of valuing my own needs and desires, because I was brought up always, I believe in, loving other people and looking after other people, but and putting other people first as well. But I hadn't realized the importance of really loving myself. So that brought a lot of healing in my life. And really helped me to think about what I desired. I guess the second one, I guess, was probably to do with intuition, um, and from that space of self love and building up, my self worth and things, I was able to kind of felt like my well, embodiment maybe as well. There's so many things, Dasha. Like I guess I started to feel this alignment in my body when we looked at embodiment, and that for me really unlocked intuition. It was something that I'd been playing around with, for a little while, and I knew that there was a lot of magic, that our bodies kind of are able to access and things. And but yeah, kind of we did a lot of work on intuition and set and some of the magic that happened, from in groups of people with, in Australia and in the UK, and like intuitively kind of hearing so much stuff that just made me so aware of the magic of the cosmos and the universe, and that's within each one of us. This sort of divine connection that we have was incredible, and I guess that sort of leads on to the sort of manifestation side, when you're starting to see so many synchronicities and magic happening, and you're seeing that flowing through yourself and through the others on the course. You're seeing people channeling. um it got me excited, and I think like I started, being in a more expectant place to see miracles happening in my own life. And so when we started setting up our sort of things that we wanted to manifest in life, and realizing as my self-worth rose and my self-love rose, more and more things became possible. So the sort of idea of manifesting, really sort of, it was this beautiful sort of twine of all of these things all together, that changed me. It changed my life. Going through this process, and it's just such a good reminder that the universe wants to give us good things. That she loves us and wants to like bless us, and we are the universe. It's this kind of cosmic play of energy, that was just so good to get really deep into. And yeah, I'm excited because like so many things have manifested, from that list of crazy dreaming kind of that went on, kind of coming from this place of, well, all things are possible. If we can dream it, we can create it. So allowing myself to dream as well was such a powerful thing to kind of unlock, because for a long time I think I'd held back in my life. And after a series of kind of going through some bad shit, happened, which it does, in life. But really, it was an opportunity to alchemize that and see the real positive stuff, that it was actually a gift going through that time, because it kind of makes me who I am today. So those are just a few sort of takeaways from the unspoken, if that answers the question.
That was so beautiful. And I just love witnessing you in your essence and just so lit up and just so alive. And I think like that's one of the big things. I mean, people that come into us unspoken tend to already be alive because they're already on that path, but they really get to expand even more so and really embody their truth and their true essence and their true magic. And you said that there was like a big list of things that you manifested that came true. So I would love for you to share maybe like what it was like before and what it's like now and what you have created, just to give people kind of an idea. Like, because maybe if you tell them all the things you created, they'll be like, oh, that's easy because like of course you created that because you were already doing that. So I'd love for you to paint a picture and really show them like, hey, no, I was there and now I'm here in less than a year and it's freaking crazy. So yeah, what comes to mind?
um, Well, I remember, kind of at the start of the unspoken, I felt like I didn't really have a voice. Like I felt like my throat chakra was blocked. The idea of going live on Facebook, I just was scared so much of ever doing anything like that, because I had a lot of fear, fear of judgment, and kind of fear coming from like a religious background, as well, like fear that people will, they'll be putting shame on me or whatever, because of my spiritual journey, which might not be in alignment with theirs. Now I don't know. And Yeah, just I think coming into the unspoken, I remember one of the first things we did was a shamanic death ritual, which was like, whoa, a bit like, what's gonna happen? I have no idea, but like going into the underworld and claiming back what we really desired,
I'm gonna,
from.
I'm gonna interrupt you because that's really unhinged, but that's okay.
Okay, yeah. I do get muddled up with them. Yeah. But
Okay,
the
there's
unhinged is
like a lot
incredible.
of a lot of overlap, and Unhinged is also
Yeah.
incredible. And also, I don't want to scare people off too much if they're like, "Oh my god, I don't want a death ritual." Like Unhinged is a bit like volume turned up even more than Unspoken, but there is like overlap, and I guess with your journey of speaking to that, right? Because it's like, yes, in the unhinged, but also in the unspoken, because the unspoken is all about speaking to the parts that are stuck there. And
Yeah.
yeah, beautiful.
Mm.
Sorry, I just had to like be like, don't worry, you're not all gonna die yet.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think like for me, finding my voice, and there was this sort of encouragement to do things that scared you, to step through that fear and take courage. And for me, that was a takeaway because I started to kind of, as my self worth raised, kind of do the things which I was scared of doing, and my life is quite dramatically different. I felt like much more equipped, after the Unspoken. Like I kind of, I was carrying more kind of experience of how to deal with feelings and emotions that came up, and before I think I was in quite a stuck stage of life. I had I went through a divorce, went through a bankruptcy, was in kind of a little bit like maybe a victim sort of feeling. And there was a lot of good stuff that was going on in my life. I was very much had also gone through a spiritual awakening, and a lot of things in my life started to be real concrete parts of my life, like meditation and things. And so I was finding peace, but not quite finding the fullness of myself, and like as consciousness, we're sort of journeying and finding ourselves all the time. But this was like a massive leap, and I ended up at the end of the Unspoken where I thought I might be in 10 years time, so it was like a quantum leap forwards, in terms of my own healing journey and unlocking some more of who I am and the things which I'm passionate about, and understanding more about myself, and so I came out with a lot of fresh vision, a lot of inspiration to actually do the things which have been in my heart for a while, which I've been scared of, because I didn't feel like I was I don't know, like qualified enough, or kind of ready. I didn't feel like I was ready, and to kind of step into some of these things which really actually delighted my heart. But there was like this, all the blockages felt like they kind of gently, as I did that self healing work, and with everyone on the course as well, like just there was this sort of, felt like this kind of washing away of some of those things which were holding me back. And yeah, so kind of coming into that new reality post the course, and I had this list of things which I wanted to manifest and stuff. I still in my head thought, well, it's probably going to be more like 5 years. Like I originally thought 10 years. There's a possibility that some of those things might happen if I work really hard on myself, and then it's like 5 years. But throughout the course, we were seeing so much magic happening. I was seeing it in my own life, and I was hearing everyone else's stories, and it was so inspiring and encouraging, listening to what everyone was going through and sort of sharing this journey with this beautiful group of people. At the end of my journey, I kind of went through another hard patch, actually, and then but I felt so much more prepared to go through that hard patch, and I literally, it was at New Year, kind of felt this kind of inner knowledge in my being saying it's going to be a really hard 3 months. But I kind of, I didn't want to say it to anyone because I didn't want to like manifest it, but it was so clear in my body, and it was like, just be strong, take courage. And I'd learned how to be strong and take courage. It was like, okay, I can do this, I can get through this. And it was really nice knowing to sort of brace myself a little bit.
Yeah.
And I did have a really hard few months, but it was one of the most transformative times of my life. And yeah, so and I suppose the specific thing that happened shortly after that was my dad got ill and he died, and so I was journeying with grief, during that time, and but kind of it was a time. of massive like receiving inheritance in terms of not like financial inheritance, but like all the things which I valued from my dad. It was like this kind of passing on the things that I wanted to claim on my ancestral line. You know, the things which his passion and love for people, and his gentleness and his heart of giving, and generosity and all these things which I really valued about my dad. It was like this kind of passing on, and received a lot through that. And there was a very specific time where I felt like I've journeyed through that, and I was able to then step into a new reality. Um, and since then I've had a real boldness, I guess, that's kind of been gifted to me to sort of start things. And one of the things which I thought, I always had this calling to kind of start a group for fathers, because I've got two boys myself, as you know. And like I wanted to gather the fathers. I'd felt this kind of like deep call in my belly to kind of like get them together and sit around a fire and kind of do a circle and gather the fathers, because I feel like there's some sort of ancient wisdom that's been lost, that we're kind of trying to figure out what it is to really be a father, in our society and to our children, and how to learn and deeply connect with our children, learn from them, and teach them, how to connect with the world, and like, bring them up, and kind of journey together. So bringing back that element of raising children in a village, in a tribe, take, and so rather than kind of being independent, trying to figure it all out alone. So that started, sort of gathered maybe 17 dads now, I think it is, which is growing. And we're talking about having a dad camp, taking all our kids away on a big adventure. And I think a lot of my intentions have been around building really strong relationships and healing with some of my family, and and with my children, seeing them kind of just having the fullness of life which I desire for them, and helping them, throughout this difficult, challenging time around the world where there's so much disconnect. So my heart's been, trying to be bringing about community. And shall I carry on? Shall I carry on? Because there's more stuff. I don't know when to stop, really.
No, that's beautiful, and you can carry on. I'm just gonna put a few things in because it's just, yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your dad, but also like really excited to hear that all these things have been passed down to you. And one thing that you touched upon is like you had a bad patch, but you had the tools to deal with it. And the thing is like life's gonna be life, like things aren't just gonna be like rainbows and unicorns. Things are still gonna go to shit sometimes. And it's like you have the tools, and you're just such an incredible example of like having the tools. You have the tools to deal with the stuff in a really powerful way. So that's
Mm,
really beautiful. And I love that you're sharing about the father circle, because that's what we were talking about and what we were creating. And now to see that like it's alive, to see that you've like followed through and you have 17 dads, that's incredible. Like, and it's growing, and you're organizing a camp. It's just, yeah, I think like when you sent me a message just sharing what you've been up to, it really lit me up to see like, wow, you actually did all these things that we were talking about, and it's like it's been like less than a year. So it's just amazing. And I love what you talked about, like how you got to witness miracles in the community that then inspired you to do things like that. Because I know sometimes we get so stuck in our old way of thinking because our environment is not inspiring us to think outside the box. It's actually trying to push us down to do what everyone else is doing. And sometimes you need kind of that oomph of community to really like shake shit up. So yeah, I'd love for you to speak a little bit on community and your experience in the unspoken, and I guess in the unhinged, it's quite similar way that I hold spaces. And yeah, because I guess with my intention is to create a place where people feel safe to fully express themselves and to fully speak to the unspoken and be held in whatever they want to express without any shame or judgment. And yeah, I'm curious, what was your experience?
Um, yeah, I think I came from sort of a time of maybe isolation before the unspoken. Like a couple of years I was living in a caravan after my business went under, my family, I went through this divorce, and I was living in countryside in a caravan. But then one day I just kind of felt this call to kind of come back to Manchester, and moved into a house share in Manchester a couple of years ago. And like it was a real calling to community, and realizing, as I was opening my heart up to doing the inner work and things, that there was a real need for so much healing in the community. And I think I realized through doing the unspoken, we're here to be healers. We're here to be change makers. Our consciousness has chosen to be here at this crazy time. And so we do have purpose. And my desire was really to see a stronger community. I was selfishly kind of wanting community myself. I was desiring connection with people, but also, I want to see the healing of Manchester, because there is so much loneliness and so much pain, and like you see it all around the world. And but throughout this time, it's everything has changed. And I suppose sort of coming out of this sort of it feels like we're coming into a new world, that we get to create. And so kind of like this idea that I've been sort of playing with, this kind of idea of co-creating with the universe. What is it that I really desire to see? And I've got my list of kind of manifestation things that I wanted to sort of create, and I still sort of read these, not every day. I try to read them every day and spend some time of really feeling into what that feels like. And I guess the one about community was, I choose the end result of a decentralized, innovative, ecstatic community of all ages, rooted in wild love, connection, and co-creation. And that's what I desire to see, and like when I meet more and more people who seem to share that vision, I'm like, wow, it's incredible. There's more people. And we've been gathering a tribe which we call Soul Tribe in Manchester, and kind of bringing together as many of the small groups that are already doing fun things, like yoga and sound healing and all those sort of cacao ceremonies and dances, and kind of just trying to encourage them to come together, rather than doing separate things. Because there's so much power in this connection. And you know we've seen a lot of drum circles. I was in the drum circle yesterday having a great time, and people were dancing and, channeling beautiful music, singing. There's a lot of healing that happens in those spaces. And you see the community kind of looking, and children coming and dancing and playing tambourines and stuff. And it just felt like a beautiful time of connection. And so my life now feels like I'm kind of trying to live intentionally in community, because that's what I desired. And I wasn't really there. Like, I had some close friends before, but it's a very different space now of seeing this community grow. And we had this kind of crazy idea. We'd sort of been having a few little healing retreats, just small groups. Um, After the unspoken, kind of gathering those people and going away for a weekend or something. And what it turned into these incredible places where we felt like these energy portals opened up, and we all encountered some incredible healing. And I'm someone that sometimes sees angels and things like this, and like, and this was like a more kind of, the energy was more intense than I'd ever witnessed at these sort of gatherings, where we were really seeing healing amongst each other. And we had like two or three of these gatherings. And then the last one was we kind of somehow got connected with a community in Wales, and a lot of synchronicities and magic happened, and all of a sudden we had this opportunity to put on an event in this beautiful Welsh valley where there were waterfalls and things, um, and all these ancient like roundhouses and like just in this forest, and you'd never know it was there, and it felt so magical. And we thought all of a sudden, well, we could actually maybe put on a festival because it was like we had the opportunity to, and so it was a small festival, but like I
Wow.
dreamt of putting on a festival, and I thought that was one of the things that I thought maybe in 10 years' time, like I think I really desired, I put it on my thing under the banner of love, just like events and festivals and workshops, under the banner of love, because I want to share love, ultimately like um, bring love to people's lives, and that's where the healing is. We're channeling love, that's when the healing happens. And it was so many people said this was a life-changing thing. There was three of us that kind of got together and decided, right, we're going to do this, and within a couple of months we'd created this festival full of workshops and beautiful events and dancing. And the feedback we got was incredible. And yeah, so it felt so good to sort of bring that into reality. And I really don't think that I'd have ever been in a place to do that had I not journeyed through the unhinged and the unspoken. I think it just it just helped me to kind of journey, to take courage, and find strength, and really tune into what my heart desired. And I still feel like I there's so much more, but just to be able to actually see these things have happened in my life, and like things that I actually couldn't have dreamt of happening so quickly. It did feel like a fast track in a way of like healing and growth. And um, so yeah, I felt like it was uh, that was probably one of the most exciting, beautiful experiences of my life. Kind of holding space to create the magic, and it was co-created. Everyone brought their energy, everyone brought what an offering to this group of people, and that sense of building community in that space was so powerful. And yeah, it felt beautiful to connect with another community that had been established there for 30 years as well. To be hosted by them felt like an incredible gift. And yeah, it's kind of it's again. It's kind of feels like, right, well, if that can happen, like what's next? And I'm kind of feeling now this sort of bubbly stage of like, what is next? It's like this is really exciting to be alive, and to kind of I don't know what's next at the moment. I'm in this sort of open space of kind of ooh, anything, miracles can happen, anything can happen, and if I can dream it, so I'm sort of trying to do a little bit more dreaming again now, and allowing time to kind of have deep connection with my children, and my community here, and just be open to what happens next. I think we will be hosting more events and festivals, so kind of watch this space. And obviously the fatherhood work's going to carry on, and I'm hoping that will develop into a movement, that can kind of be in different parts of the UK and beyond. Maybe it's just like I'm hoping that can change lives and build community and connection, and together we can uncover some of that ancient wisdom to what it really means to find the divine masculine, and do fathering well, and like bring up our children beautifully, in community. Like that's what I desire. um yeah, so those are kind of a couple of the areas of my life which I've been giving my energy to, and I just don't think they could have happened without kind of my journey, I think they may have happened, but it would have been a different path and probably a lot longer to get to those spaces and uncover those things that excite my heart so much.
Yeah, it just warms my heart because I remember our calls, and this was like your vision, your father circle, and then your community, like creating community and having this community. And I just love it. I just love just witnessing you. You are just so on fire. You are like the perfect example to show someone who's so lit up, who's so in their purpose, who's so just in alignment. It's like what my goal is for all my clients. I'm just sitting here. I'm just like I think like if you've been watching my face, my face like hurts from smiling. I'm just like, I can't smile any bigger, it's just like so inspiring and it just lights me up. And I just want this for the world, like I want every single person to be talking about life like that, not focusing on like complaining and blaming and shaming. It's like, how could I just share about the epic shit that's going on in my life? I have too much to share. Like, I don't even know what to choose. It's like so many epic gems. And yeah, that's beautiful. And thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And um, I guess like I have a question for you that I think a lot of the time is like a block for people around like investing in themselves, like with time and money. And I guess like what would your I guess words of wisdom be, or what would you say to someone who may be considering doing unspoken or not even because they have their like, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, like la la la, all that jazz. I'm curious, like, what you would say. Like, what would you, being on the other side, like, what advice would you give them?
Yeah. So this was sort of, I guess I felt like I wanted to invest in myself, and I knew that I there was more, that hadn't yet been unlocked in my life. This healing journey is so vital. It's part of being human. It's finding our own fullness, and self, and like the healing was so necessary for me, and I hadn't kind of ever sort of really gone deep into investing into myself, really. And so I was feeling, the desire to do that. And I actually stumbled across one of your live feeds on a Facebook group that was just you channeling, this love and abundance and all these things which I was really resonating with. And at that time, I had no idea that you were a coach. But I thought I want to connect because this is speaking to my heart. This is powerful, and
Mm.
like it's not very often I come across videos where I'm really feeling like actually this is deep. And when I thought I wanted a coach, I thought it would probably be an older guy. I didn't expect it to be a girl or someone who was younger than me because I just thought it wouldn't be. I thought that's an unusual kind of thing, but I felt your energy and I felt like actually I do connect. So what I would say is if you feel a connection, this is talking to all the viewers now, to Dasha, like she channels powerfully and like she speaks truth, and it's changed my life. I can honestly say that. And so if you do feel like you're desiring healing work and coaching, and there's something saying yes inside you, then listen to that. And I listened to that, and I didn't have an income really at the time. And there was a cost, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for this. But I wanted to listen to that thing that said yes inside me. So I just said yes. And I was like, I paid set up to pay monthly, having no clue how I was going to pay for this thing each month. Uh, and really, I had two jobs, both of which I'd lost before I took. One was in events, so obviously all of that work had stopped, and like I was living on benefits basically. But I felt it was right to do this, and it was literally every month when I needed to make a payment, like a day or two beforehand, there'd be some financial miracle. I didn't go around to anyone saying I need money for my coaching course, but there was something that happened. I think one of them I got a tax rebate. Someone just gifted me some money randomly, and every time, like every month when I was trying to make the payments, it was like there was a miracle. And it felt like, the universe was confirming for me this is the right path, this is the right path. And so as long as you feel this is a desire of your heart and you want to do the work, you're ready to do the work, you're ready to open your heart to inner healing, to the fullness of who you are as well, to kind of unlock all that potential. um, do it. Don't let money hold you back. Like, money does hold people back, especially in Manchester here. It feels like there's a sort of the spirit of lack, which the universe wants to give us every good thing and provides to meet all my needs. And, I've experienced that. But I encourage people, if it's something that you feel to do in your heart, to do it, because, like every living thing out there, like the universe provides for them, including us, more so us. It's like we are connected. And that I'm going off on one, getting a bit woo, sorry. But I think I just love the fact that I saw so many miracles in kind of stepping out, and actually investing in yourself is the most beautiful thing you can do. It's an act of self-love. It's so good. And as I said earlier, as you increase your self-love, your love for others can increase, and you can there's so much more you can achieve and do, and life changes. So it's one of the most powerful things, I think, to invest into yourself and take this step. So I'd really encourage people, if they're feeling like that cool, that yes inside in your body, it's like in your belly, if it's like, yeah, I'm worthy of this, I deserve to invest in myself, just to absolutely go for it. The money will come. You don't need to worry about that at all, if that's the thing that's holding you back. And it's a transforming process. It really is a transforming process. So you'll have a different relationship, with money at the end of it. And abundance was another thing that I really kind of pulled from the course and really enjoyed, kind of learning more about abundance. And yeah, just do it. Just do it. Even if it's not going to be a bad decision to do this, basically. Yeah. But if you need that, yes, I'm sure the universe will provide it for you. But it's not a waste of money by any means.
Oh, there's just so many golden nuggets in what you shared. Oh, I think like I'm speechless. Honestly, what's going through my mind as you were sharing that, it's like, I'm just so fucking grateful that you said yes, And like who I see in front of me is such a different person to the person that I was on the phone to before you said yes. It's like, wow. And like, wow, like, wow. And everything you've said was just so beautifully said. Like, I couldn't have said it better myself. And you're just like a walking example of it. And it's just so beautiful to witness. Like, it speaks so loud of my work, but it also speaks so loud of someone who trusts, and allows the universe to catch them. And yeah, the miracles, like I remember, I think like your friend that you used to live with, like was like, oh, I owed you rent money from, I don't know how. I remember you telling us that. And I was just like, because I had no idea that was going on in the background. And you know what? You never missed a payment. Like, you never missed a payment at all.
I'll just share that one actually because that was funny. Yeah, my beautiful friend who I lived with very briefly, I sort of thought I can live in the city centre. I didn't cope at all in the city centre. There's no trees. Like, what are you supposed to do if there's no trees? So I sort of lasted maybe a couple of months and paid him rent for when I was there and stuff. But I said I was so sorry because I was meant to stay there for at least 6 months, and I just had to say I can't do it. I had to move out, but he just decided, bless him so much, he just decided to gift me all of my rent money back. And this was like maybe a year and a half later, and this was rent money. I helped him pay his mortgage. Like I didn't expect it back. He didn't owe me anything. And it's just like such an incredible gift to receive. And he just felt on his heart that he desired to do that for me. And so I feel, the gifting such an incredible thing to be able to receive and to be able to give. Like there's so much blessings. My fingers are tingling thinking about it. If you step out and gift something, if you feel that in your heart, it can change people's lives. And it's like this the way of abundance. Really, I really believe in gifting and community and creating a gifting economy. It's like if you're in abundance, gift and be generous. It really works. We really see so much miracles happening around us when we're kind of living in that reality. And that happened to me, and I felt so blessed. And even at this weekend I was telling someone about my boys, and they were saying, Mark, you're so blessed, just as I was telling them about my boys and this group of people that didn't have children and stuff. Um, and yeah, like just that constant reminder that I am blessed. Take this opportunity to do this course, and you'll know you are blessed. It's it's uh, it's just knowing truth, isn't it? And as I said earlier, you channel truth, and so when this truth, that we are blessed. Everything changes, and kind of realizing who we are. Like consciousness, and that we're all connected. And for me, journeyed so much deeper into the oneness. Intuition, I guess. It's like we are actually one consciousness. And so if you're generous to someone and you're kind to someone, you're being generous and kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Like as well. It's just a beautiful experience of love and kindness, kind of just in community. When those things become normal and natural, it's like it's such a beautiful experience, I think. um, so yeah, I am feeling incredibly blessed, and incredibly blessed to kind of like go deeper into this work. There's still a lot of areas where I'm sort of slowly realizing I've got more work to do, and things which are being unlocked in my life. And as I'm growing and seasons are changing and more opportunities are coming up and things, it's um, yeah, it feels like a really exciting time to be alive. And um, but yeah, it kind of feels so important to kind of allow yourself time to journey deep within, and out of that, it's like that underworld, underground work that we do. That's so important, because that sort of unseen, the unspoken, all of that stuff, kind of, if we love it and we nourish it and we work on it, it's like out of that space is where the fruitfulness comes, where the flowers grow. And like the stuff which blossoms out of that kind of is all a result of kind of working on those unspoken places, and doing that deep work. Otherwise, there's not a lot of depth, and things are quite shallow, and things don't last. We have to go through that journey, and that's it in itself is a beautiful journey. It can be painful, but that's okay. Just kind of, I'd encourage everyone to do it. Really.
Yeah, yeah, and I love that. And I think like a piece, like something that I was journeying with last week, is the worthiness and the deserving. and the worthiness and the deserving, because you are born worthy and deserving, not because like you've been a really good mom or good dad, or you've worked hard, or you deserve a break, or you deserve this program because of everything going wrong in your life. It's like, no, you fucking deserve. And I'm using this program as an example, like anything, but for this example, like you deserve to do the unspoken because you deserve. It's like you are blessed because you're blessed. It's not because you've been a good person or you've been a bad person. You are born worthy and deserving. And I think that's the next layer, because we're so conditioned that we're not. And we have to work hard. From a young age, you get a gold star if you're the best in class, and then it just goes through funnels. But it's like, no, everyone gets a fucking gold star, the good and the bad, the naughty kid and the smart kid. But it's like, no, our system deconditions that. And I want to recondition that. Like, you are all worthy. You all get a gold star, because you're born worthy and deserving. And you can have whatever you want, and the universe will catch you. You can like invest in that and pay rent and pay for all the other crap. It's like you don't have to choose one or the other. Like, you decide. And once you decide, the world moves around you. It moves around your decision. And you're such an incredible example of it. And I wasn't even going to talk about this, but as you were sharing, this was really dropping in, and it's just, I'm so grateful that you did share about like you just jumping and like without knowing, and you got caught every single time with some crazy miracle, because you were in a land of miracles, and you had this confirmation, and every time there was more miracles. And that's the world that I want to be creating for people, because I know that if you're in that environment, there's more miracles, because you keep seeing miracles, and you believe in it. It's like there's worlds where you don't. It's like you just complain, and it's limited, and there's no possible way, like how the hell. And then there's the world of miracles, where it's like, why not you? Why not? Like, why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? So yeah, and I guess this is like a beautiful way to kind of come full circle. And is there anything else that you would love to share to complete anything else that's alive in you?
Hmm. Yeah, just gratitude really, and thankfulness for the opportunity to journey with you, and also for everything that's happening. It's like I'm very grateful, and yeah, it feels nourishing to like talk about it. And obviously, you witnessed me before all this happened, and yeah, so obviously to sort of reconnect after a bit of time feels great. So I'm really grateful, and yeah, just feeling blessed, and sending you love, sending everyone watching this love, and yeah, I hope that something of what I've said uh, has some impact on your lives in some way, and yeah, sending lots of love to everyone.
Yeah, beautiful, Mark. And I think for me to close, I just want to celebrate you, like I want you to fucking own it, like how incredible you are. And I'm fucking celebrating you. And so is everyone else. And I'm just, oh, just feel it. Like, claps, because you have created such an incredible life for yourself, and you're really juicing every bit of life out of life, and you're living in a state of happiness and joy and gratitude and creation, and you're really in your true essence. You are in your greatness. You're just following your dreams, and you're allowing the universe to provide for you, and you're just like, thank you. And it's like so humble, and just so like in such deep reverence and gratitude, and surrender. And I celebrate you. I really, really, really celebrate you for all the work that you have done. when we were together, after we finished working together, what you're doing now, because as much as I could contribute to you with the tools and holding the space, if you didn't take the action, nothing would change, you know, and action is such an important part. And you showed up, and you showed up in the face of resistance, in the face of like, how the fuck am I going to do this, you know? And you did it. And you did a step every single time. And now look at you, looking back, you know, at the last year, like holy motherfucking shit. You created a festival, you started a community, you started a fathers group, you know, like your relationship with your kids is blossoming. You are so lit up as fuck. Like you are just the happiest I've seen you. And that just makes me so happy. I'm like kind of like I'm dreaming, you know. I feel like it's like a year back and we're like in your dream of what's going to happen in the future, except like we are here and it's happened.
I don't think I'd have believed it. You know, if you showed me this, I'd be like, no, no, that's not possible. Yeah. The impossible, hey? Incredible, incredible. It's beautiful, and yeah, just excited to see what happens next. And yeah, thank you so much for your encouraging words and kindness. And yeah, I'm feeling more blessed. More blessed. There's more blessings. Ah, yeah. Yeah.
There's
I
always
think
more.
that's what always gets me. There's always more,
There's always
right?
more.
Yeah.
There's always more. There's always more.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Thanks, Dasha. Lovely to speak to you.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you for gifting us your energy, your time, your listening. And if you feel inspired, if you feel excited, and you want to know more about the Unspoken, doors close on Thursday, and today is Monday. So in three 3 days. So message me if you want more information, if you want to set up a call, if you want to see if our energies align, if you fit into the community, into the program. If you have any questions that need answered, if you have any blocks or resistance that you're open to leaning into, reach out. Let's talk about it. Let's create some magic. Let's create the impossible. And again, thank you so much. And thank you, Mark, for your time. So generous, sharing your beautiful messages and your life with us so vulnerably and authentically. Thank you. Goodbye,
Thank you, Dasha.
guys. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.